told you already. I need a nap. One of them days. How y'all feeling?
Fine. I'm gonna have to mute myself because my little sidekick is over here. She just bought me a stool. But Venus and Serena, how are y'all? How was tennis?
She's obviously Venus because I killed it.
Oh, that's not fair.
She retired and whatnot,
I'm gonna have to retire early.
Oh, you got your carpal tunnel. That's her carpal tunnel brace.
I was about to say, dang, you got injured already.
I don't know. I think I hit it a little too hard, and then I felt it like get stuck, and it was like twisted. I felt it. He was out there pulling on my hand, trying to get it. I was like, I just put my brace on when I go. I just fight through it. So it was. I had fun. I like it.
I had fun too. It really is. It's a fun game.
Broke a little sweat.
It's a workout too. It is. It's a workout.
Cause ain't no way just laid after that.
Yeah. And the weather was really nice today.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it was gonna rain for a little bit, but it never did. So it was nice. It wasn't hot. It was cool. The sun wasn't beaming down on you.
I like there was no. It was actually no sun. So when the clouds was covering the sun, which was great for me.
When you come out here, George, we're gonna have to go play.
Yes. Okay. I might have my tennis skirt and polo ready.
She said she's gonna be cute even if she can't play.
Perfect time for a photo shoot. I love a good photo op. Okay.
That's what I told Mimi. I said I need one with
my little racket.
Yes.
Listen, that ball flew over the wall so many times. I said the boy in the next court was probably tired of us. But it was fun. It's a good workout. I would definitely go back. I highly recommend. I told Tyrone he needs to go and get a workout in. I told Mo to invite him. Work him. When he go, put him to work.
If he playing with Mo, he gonna get put to work because he know what he doing.
Mo didn't even look like he was doing much of anything, and
but his mama was an ex-professional.
But then his arms are ex-professional. Then his arms so long, I'm running to go get the ball, and he just reaching out, and I'm like,
I want him to keep coming out there though, because I want to get better.
Me too.
And I'm like, okay, come on out here so you tell me what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay. Welcome back. This is officially episode 3. I'm feeling good about it. Episode 2. This episode is kind of a continuation of episode 2 because we kind of went into this last week and I had to cut us off because we went a little too deep. So we automatically chose the topic for today. Last week's topic was, did you feel actually prepared for adulthood? And of course, marriage is a part of adulthood. Eventually, sometimes not for everybody, but majority of the time, yes, it is. So some of the things, what did you mention last week, Shanti, that kind of steered us into the girl? She just already started shaking her head like I can't tell you nothing I said last week.
Well, I don't know, but I know that I was just saying, that's a part of adulthood, like relationships in general. Mm-hmm. It becomes such a big part of adulthood, but nobody really discusses it or discuss I guess even how they chose a mate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how my parents got together, Lord. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like one of those things where, nobody really talks to you about what you should be looking for or, what to tolerate and what not to tolerate. Like this thing that went down with Derrick Jaxn and his wife. I was just like, I felt so bad for her on the slick. I mean, and then people was coming after her for how she was dressed, but I was just like, she depressed.
My sister
in my mind, I was like, she depressed.
Huh? My sister Tiffany said, you could tell she over it. She ain't worried about that dude. You gotta be over it if you come on do a doggone video with a bonnet and no bra on. She ain't worried about him. I say, not Tiffany, come on now.
See, but the thing is for me though, like I told my husband, I said the thing is though, is that she should have came out there looking snatched. If he hadn't seen her like that in 5 years, I don't care. That day she should have been like, boom, boom, bam, like, made it work.
I feel kind of bad that I did this. I never clicked on. I watched one video. I watched the one video of him doing a side-by-side review of their own video that they posted. That's the only video I watched. However, I did go back and look through her Instagram. And I feel so bad that I did that, kind of, because I'm like, why? It's like I'm looking for a reason that he cheated. And it's like, I shouldn't have. That's not why I went and looked, but that's what it made me feel like after the fact. Like, if anything, I should have been going to look at his pictures and like, look, you can tell he's a dog in this picture.
Thing, right? So with that, he's a public figure. So his page is all over the place. You always see his page. So prior to this, I don't even know that I knew she existed.
Me neither.
So when people started finding her Instagram page, it's like, okay, well, let me go look at her page and see what she got going on, or see, to see the type of person she is. And then as you start going down her page and you're reading stuff, and I was like, wow, okay, so it's a lot. This is a lot to unpack. Like, it's a lot going on here. And although, like, I do feel bad for her, I do think that she should have put on a bra and let her puff or her twist out be whatever it was under that bonnet. Because I mean, I'm not saying that you got to come with your face beat, but you could have gave me a little lip gloss, could have took off the bonnet, and you could have put on a bra, and I probably wouldn't have said as much. But I'm like, that it's so many eyes on you right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's most important. Like, it's so many eyes on you right now, and especially in this situation, I'm showing up looking the best of the best. I'm out here looking for a dime that's top of the line. So I'm pulled up, I'm snatched, my hair is done, everything is done. If I'm gonna be sitting here holding your hand saying, yes, I understand, I left, but we back together.
Yes. I don't know if y'all went and looked, but I went back a long way. And it was like something just switched. On far enough back on her post, she's glammed up, hair down, cute dresses, cute jumpsuits, stuff like that, making cute little posts. And then the next thing you know, I see a post that says, I left and he came and got me in a helicopter. And after that, her post just went down. It was like a major shift. I was like, I don't know what happened then. For me on the outside looking in, just looking at her post, it was like you was living your best life. You ain't know what was going on. 18, 19, something happened and it just went downhill from there. Like, all her posts, it was either spiritual or just her just looking drab, or just her out, doing activities and stuff. It wasn't as youthful and playful as her previous posts were.
See, I didn't look at her post. I didn't dig into it. I just kind of looked at the video and was like, okay. But for me, like, I've watched one of his videos prior to this, right? I was never a fan of him. I can't stand him. I remember the minute I saw it was him, I was just like, because he's always digging in other people's business. Like, he's always all in other people's tea, and he had said other things about other people's marriages. And I was just sitting there and I was just like, it don't surprise me that it's you the one showing up right now, holding your wife's hand, embarrassing her.
She always felt something about him. That's why she never bought his book. Like, she couldn't even bring herself to really listen, pay attention to him, because it was just something about him that rubbed her the wrong way. I can't never say I really watched any of his videos. Like, I'll see them every now and again on my timeline, but I never clicked on it. So I didn't really know.
I saw the one when he was talking about John Gray. And John Gray, he cheated on his wife. They said emotionally, whatever. But and he was just like dogging him and saying all kinds of stuff and saying stuff about his wife. And I was just like, this dude right here. And I had seen, like, it come on my, on my timeline or whatever, and I would see it, like, things that he would say, like, about women should be doing this or that. I don't know. I just couldn't get into him. So, but but that just shows that nobody prepared her, for what she should be accepting in a marriage and what she feel like
but is she prepared? I feel like maybe she is, because she's going into it from a sense of like somebody's old first lady from 1930 who is like, you know, it's your old first lady who like know her husband is stepping out, but we married and we took a vow, so he gonna do what he gonna do, and it ain't
healthy.
It's nothing but the devil.
On the same room.
But that's not healthy though.
Attacking us, attacking our family. Like it's not healthy, but that's the thing, it's not healthy at all. And a lot of times in these situations, and I think a lot of times in a lot of situations, it can be damaging how we choose to fall on the sword of Christianity. Right? Because as much as we know our Bible and as much as we, know things that's going on, it's like, yeah, the Bible is it's outdated, right? So there are some biblical concepts and some things that you could take from the Bible to be able to like know how to live your life, know how to treat people, know how to love people. But for her to take it and be like, you see a bonnet, I see a head of salvation. This is a spiritual warfare. I am trained to do the whatever, the serpents and the yada yada, whatever she was saying. I'm like, everything, and even for him, he's like, and I'm now choosing to seek God and become more one with God and have my own relationship with God. And I'm like, yeah, what you not finna do is if you have clearly a fundamental character flaw, right?
Yes. Amen.
It's a character flaw. It's a fundamental character flaw. It's a fundamental ethical flaw within you. So then now we're going to use Christianity to be like, but I found God. So we good. Yeah, to use it as a crutch.
Okay, so I know you said this brought me back to this. I know you said you haven't been watching it this season. Married at First Sight, old girl Paige and Chris on this season, Married at First Sight. Prime example. This is like prime example of everything that this guy has done. She's sitting up here. I feel like this is our test. God has brought me, through this for a reason. And every time she says, I'm like, God is not the author of confusion. I don't understand why people don't get that. When you are in a bunch of mess like this with multiple bodies and babies on the way and stuff like that, God is not the author of confusion. Please leave my God out of this. This is you choosing to stay in a bad situation. And God did not. Yes, he gave us free will. He gave you free will to say it's time for me to get the hell up out of there.
Even when it comes to the Bible, though, it does say that people can divorce based on someone being unfaithful in their marriage. Like that's like the only condition they really list. I mean, I'm like, it's a lot of conditions that probably need to be in there, but the only condition they do list,
You just said it's outdated.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, like for instance, abuse. Heck, you can't. I think people should be able to run far away from stuff like But the only thing they really put in there is the fact that you can be divorced based on the fact that somebody is unfaithful. So even for her to bring up the Bible, she need to like lean on to that's her personal choice, because at the end of the day, that's her personal choice. You actually have within the biblical tense to leave this man, and there will be no background on you. If you want, no backfall on you if you wanted to, but you want to stay in this. And I don't know. Like I said, I think she is depressed. Like you said, it was a big change in the way that she looked and all that. I think it's all just, I can imagine dealing with a person like him. To me, he just comes off like he knows everything. And if you 24/7 having to deal with that.
Right. And imagine being with him, like, as his social media has gained this following, because it's probably like and I don't know, like, the growth of, one day he had 5 followers, the next day he had 5,000. Like, I don't know. But I would imagine at some point he started making these videos and it started growing. And you know how older people used to be like, oh, you smelling yourself. It probably got to a point where he was smelling himself, and now he has this access and these women that he's like talking and doing all this stuff, and he's saying things to them that they want to hear. And they're probably like, wow, I really wish I could find somebody like you. And he's like, actually,
yeah, but
you found it. Say, what do you need? What can I do? Because if you notice, he said it in the video. He's like, he said women. I have been with women. He didn't say one. He didn't say woman. He didn't say that singular. He said, I have been with women. I have been in relationships. And I'm like, what?
what killed me, I watched this little video about it, and they were saying that the other woman, like it was 2 women that came out, and they were saying like 2 separate years. And she said that he told them that, he was, in a bad place in his marriage, blah blah blah, and that's why she went to lunch with him. And I mean, not to say the outside woman ain't make no commitment. I mean, I'm not saying she don't deserve to get her ass kicked, but the outside woman didn't make no commitment, right? So I don't tend to blame the outside woman a lot. But the thing is that, okay, you saying that ain't that what every man say? That he having a bad time in a relationship, that he's married right now, and that he need, I need something to help me and blah blah blah. Ain't that what every man say? I mean,
if you turn around, you can say that you're having a bad time in your marriage. I have bad time in my marriages too, but you know where I go? To Starbucks, and I get happy, or I go to the store. Me and you, not to say I was having a bad day. I went to Costco, came back refreshed.
Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, baby. Chick-fil-A.
I ain't go to Costco looking for no man. I ain't about to go to Costco looking for no man. Like that's okay. Hits the topic today, marriage. Like that's just idiotic to me. I can't. You don't just use it as an excuse and say I was having a bad time in my marriage. Okay, that's what marriage is. You're gonna have bad times. But you chose to be married.
And you choose to unmarry.
I always joke and say in my vows, like I get a pass because my vows were not the regular vows. Like my grandfather married us, and my wedding was short, sweet, to the point. 5 minutes, all the 5-10 minutes, the wedding was over and done with. So it was so dark. My papa was very, very old when he married us. He actually just passed at the end of last year. So he was like, we got married in 2011. So it was kind of, the lights were kind of dimmed. He couldn't see. So he was like, ain't nobody gonna lighten up the place. Ain't nobody turn the lights up. So he skipped through it, and we didn't even say the regular vows, like we never said, for better or for worse, for rich or for poor. So I said I get a pass. But me assuming that they spoke the regular vows, it's in there for you, for better or worse. And you had a bad time in your marriage, and you call yourself becoming a relationship guru and not taking your own advice, and you just decide to just go be I am every man to every other woman who just came across you. Like, I find that completely crazy. But I have a question. My question is, from the marriages that y'all have seen and that y'all, saw growing up, would those have made you want, like, witnessing those type of marriages? I don't know the types of marriages that y'all saw, but I know what I saw. And would they have made you want to get married still?
No. Like, no. I don't even know if I need to explain, but just no. Nothing. I don't. It's not like I have some like fairy tale example. And granted, my parents were together until my mama passed away. From the time they got married until my mom passed, they were together.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's a no. Okay. It's just and I think it comes with generations and like the time in which you grow up. But it's this person got multiple babies over here, that person got babies over there, this person doing that person doing that, and it kind of like, and it's so interesting because it just like distorts the image of what it is that you're like taught or what you think marriage should be, right? So you have these, and then again, you know what? Maybe the images that we saw are just really what it is, right? Maybe that's just really what it is. Maybe it is, people stepping out for a year, but y'all still stay together. And then because you stepped out, I'm gonna step out, and then now we're gonna step back in together. And that's what me and mine. I just don't have time because I'm finna burn down everybody's house. I'm burning down everybody's house. I'm burning down all their cars. Abigail, I'm getting my Angela Bassett from Waiting to Exhale on, and everything is up in flames.
Well, my answer is definitely a no to. I definitely did not see what a picture of a healthy marriage was, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, they had a lot of craziness. And even when I think about me and one of my friends were discussing like old school marriages and how people like praise the fact that they stayed together for 65 years. Well, what came with them 65 years? You know what I'm saying? Like longevity does not necessarily say that something is good or something is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm the same way. My parents are married until my father passed away. But did I see love? I remember I looked at this video. It was my brother's. I think I was like 4 or 5, and he had turned like 18. So my mom used to always throw us these little parties, and she put, some candles on a cake that she made or whatever, and we sing happy birthday. And my mama was sitting on my daddy's lap. Girl, I don't have no recollection of that. Okay, like I saw the video and I was like, they were showing each other love. And, and I was present. Like, I mean, I did not see that. I didn't see, two people kiss each other in the morning before they left. And, and in all honesty, talking to so many different people about their, the way they grew up too, I feel like a lot of people, they only saw that when they had step parents. I know this, maybe this sounds bad, but my friends that have parents who actually got divorced and got somebody new, they actually, seem to have had where they saw people, actually at least touch each other. I mean, maybe at the beginning years, I don't know. But even when I was around my husband, my in-laws, well, they were my in-laws at the time, and she leaned over and she kissed her husband before he went to work. And I was like, you doing that because I'm here? I had to ask them. I was like, did they do that because I was here? Like they trying to, stun on me or something, like look good. But But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it's crazy. And I really wish that people would stop like being so joyful over the year frame. Like what came within those years? What did y'all accomplish? What did y'all do? How did this marriage really go? Like you said, all these outside relationships and all that. I mean, not to say you can't forgive, but at the same time, like, let's be real about what this really looked like. Was people happy in these 65 years, or was they kind of like just living?
For me, the answer is no too. The stuff I saw growing up between my parents, that was definitely hell no. It was World War III in our house all the time. From fighting, people pulling guns out on people, like it was a hot mess. And
not a gun, Mimi. They ain't bring no guns.
How much would it be?
Yeah. Okay.
I still remember, me and my sister still remember the time. At this time, this happened one summer because the way that it is, I have older brothers too, but the people that lived in the house at the time, it was my sister Tiffany, my brother Jafel, my sister Troya, me. Tiffany was gone somewhere, Jafel was gone somewhere, me and Troya were the only two home. My mom and daddy woke us up in the middle of the night fighting. We walked in the kitchen. My daddy had my mama in the headlock on the kitchen floor with a gun to her head, and my mama had a knife on the floor. And my mama was just yelling like, "Go press the button on the alarm." And my daddy told us, "You press that button on that alarm, I'll blow your mama MF head off right now." So we were just like standing there, like shook, just scared. So that's why I'm like, I don't even try to figure. They still together to this day. I don't even. That's not the only time stuff like that has happened, neither. Like I don't even try to figure out their relationship anymore because I'm like, for one, it's not my business. But it's just like when I was deciding to be with somebody, I adamantly said I do not want somebody like my daddy because not just,
They did give us an example of what not to want, right?
There you go. Not to say that my daddy is a bad guy. It's just that for you to have a temper like that or to be drinking that bad, that's for stuff to get like that, it's just ridiculous to me. And that's why I try to watch my temper nowadays. Like me and Tyrone had this whole big thing at the beginning of our marriage where if I got mad about something, I just shut down and stopped talking because I knew how my temper was. And I refused to let stuff get that far because I know if I get mad, I'm ready to take you out. Like I could care less. So that's why I'm like, I choose not to do that with you. So I'm going to shut down and we just going to stop talking about this. And he will get mad because he's the type of person, he got to talk. He just want to talk. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to talk to you right now, because if we continue to talk, we're going to be in here fighting. And you may not live to see tomorrow. So it's best that we just stop right now and come back. So we had to agree to find another route to communicate, because you the type of person that like to talk. I'm the type of person that shut down when I get mad. We gotta do something. And I refuse. I do not want my kids to see stuff like that. I refuse to raise angry kids. Now people wonder why it's something. No, Tyrone always says something is wrong with every last one of us that came out of that house. I wonder why. But then when you think back to these old marriages that lasted 60 and 65 years, it was because back then it was just like they didn't have any other options. You stuck with this person. Mm-hmm. Like, and they had the mentality that when the checks come here, he can go do whatever he want to do, as long as he coming back here, or, you know, stuff still getting taken care of here. That's what the justice system is for, baby. And I will gladly take use of the justice system. I will take everything you got in the person that you decided to step out on me with. Like, I will move to the state that I can legally file on you for cheating, you know, with my spouse, just so I can sue you. Like, I'm just that petty. I would do it.
What if she didn't know, Mimi? What if she didn't know?
You know something. I refuse to believe. That's why I have a hard time believing that people are not that naive. Because even if in the dating world now, it's like, I don't know, I can't see myself being with somebody that I don't have free access to at any point of the day. Like, you working is one thing, but you should be able to text me, call me, be like, I'm working right quick, give me 5 minutes, I'll call you back. I can not honestly see how people can be like, well, I ain't talked to him in a couple of days, he just been busy. Boo, you don't see nothing wrong with that? Like, something's not adding up. That's crazy to me, how people can hold relationships nowadays and go 2 and 3 days without talking to somebody and still think that everything is cool. Like, that's crazy. So, but with that being said, my next question was, I don't know how long they've been married. Did they ever say how long?
It looks like on social media, it looks like they just got married in like 2018 or 2019. Like, they haven't been married that long, but they've been together for a little while.
Oh, well, he started cheating right away, huh?
It says, somebody said something like they've been together for like 14 years and he pretty much been stepping out the whole time.
I saw pictures of them younger with him playing
football. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like, when I looked at her page, it looks like they got married in like 2018 or 2019.
Okay. All right. So do y'all really believe in, that's not a good example, but do y'all really believe in the 7-year itch?
I ain't made it to 7 years and nothing yet. So I'm gonna let y'all handle that one.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I guess I didn't think about it as far as for years. You know, my marriage has been through some ups and downs, and you know, I used to think when people said, "Oh, marriage was work" and all this other stuff, that they was like lying, right? Like, because it was so easy the first 5 years. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just like breezing through it. I just got to live life with my best friend, and then my husband had a stroke. He had a stroke at 30, and I mean, it was just like everything about our marriage changed. Like, every dynamic about it. We just lived in rehab. You know, we lived in rehab mode for like a year. And sadly, the job they gave me was find the deficits. Shantae, you need to look for Rendell's deficits so then we can work on them. Well, that created a bad habit in me because I started finding deficits every damn morning. You know, it's like I almost had a hard time getting out of that mode sometimes of like finding, you know, what's wrong and what can we work on kind of thing. But I think that these last couple of months, I would say, have been like kind of like a redefining period, because I had just said to myself too often that the stroke ruined my marriage. Oh, this stroke ruined our marriage. Like, it was never the same, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it has been. It's been a lot of personality changes on both ends, not just his end, but mine too. So it's, I don't think anybody could have prepared me for that. I mean, I was definitely inadequately prepared for marriage in general, but I don't think anybody really could have prepared me for that, especially at such a young age. Because I mean, when I say I was in there, like 65-year-old and up women, who have been married to their husbands for 30 plus years or so, who were dealing with the same thing I was dealing with. And one lady looked at me and she's like, "Baby, you've been married for 5 years, and you're dealing with this." She's like, "That is a hard pill to swallow." And she wasn't lying, because most of the time people deal with that. If you don't deal with something like that, a big health problem like that, you deal with that like year 35 or something, not year 5. So I don't think anybody could prepare me for it, but I stopped telling myself that it ruined my marriage and just started just working on what we have now and, building it up from here. I mean, we have a 2-year-old daughter now. It's been almost 5 years. I mean, what can you do? You can just either you can let it go or you can work on it, and not to say that we've been sad and depressed the whole time, but I think we both were like a little bit depressed on the slick. Like when we both went to counseling, that's something both of our therapists was like, "So y'all did all this all this other therapy, all this physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, but y'all didn't do like no real therapy, like emotional." And we was like, "No, we was too busy doing other stuff." And, but emotionally, I think it was hard for us to deal with everything that happened, and we had to learn how to deal with it on an emotional level. So we working through it. We getting there. I love him a little more every week, I think.
You got trying to redefine your marriage.
Yeah, it was a tough one. That was a little hard.
I'm sure. It'll be 10 years this year in July. That it'll be 10 years the end of July this year that we've been married. I can't honestly say I believe in a 7-year itch, but I do feel like there was a point in my marriage thus far that everything he did just aggravated me. I don't know if it was just because we were just existing and just working and it was the same cycle over and over again, but there was a time in my marriage where everything he did just aggravated me. I still am the type of person where I'm like, when he's gone, he travels a lot for work, but then when he gone, I want him here. As soon as he get here, he say 2 words to me and I'm like, "Oh, get out my face." Like, you could be here, just go be over there and I'll be right here. Or if you're gonna be right here, I just need you to shut your mouth and just be present. Like, I just need the comfort of you being here. I don't need your words. So, but no, he would just like he could open his mouth and say one little thing and I'd be like, "God, dog, we got to sit here and talk." But that's just because I'm not a talker. I don't like to just sit here and like bear myself. So he want to talk about every doggone thing. Now he could walk through the door and get a glass of water or a bottle of water, take a sip and then sit it on the counter. And I'd be like, "Look at this crap. He just don't care about nothing I did. I mean, cleaned up, my counter's clean. He come in here and get a glass of water or bottle and just leave it there on the counter. He could have put that in the refrigerator." Like I was looking for any little thing. Like any little thing he did just aggravated the piss out of me. So I don't.
He's finding deficits too.
I don't like. Even still, he still does that, and I still do that. But it's more so now with me being frustrated that I feel like I'm cleaning all doggone them because I'm staying after we just had another baby in September. And I decided to stay home for a year. So with me staying home for a year, it's like, okay, I gotta clean up. I gotta, ain't no point in me being here all day if he has to come home to a house that looks like I'm just sitting here. So I try my hardest to like, even though I know I'm doing other stuff, like I'm breastfeeding doggone around the clock all doggone day long, cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for another little person who don't appreciate nothing because he doing virtual learning. And it's just on top of that, I feel like I'm just going, like I'm a hamster on a wheel. I'm just going in circles doing the same thing. So I can't even get this far. Like I'll try to get the kitchen clean, but by the time the kitchen is clean, I gotta cook lunch. So the kitchen's dirty again. I gotta wash dishes again. It's a revolving door. So it's just, so I get frustrated because I know that I'm spending my days going in circles, that when he does come home and he tries to relax a little bit, it's like he's just glossing over what I done did. And they just be like, you know, whatever, you did it, I don't care. But then I'm trying to reprogram myself to be like, this is a house, we live here. It's going to get dirty. It's going to get messy. And I need to chill out, because I realize that when he comes home, when he finishes working, his mind is, let me spend some time with my kids. So they're going to mess up the house. And they're like, so with me, I can appreciate the fact that you're trying to spend time with your child. Mm-hmm. So if it gets dirty, it is what it is. But I do notice that with him being, when he comes home on the weekends, he will cook all weekend. He'll try to clean up as much as he can, because he's starting to notice the fact that I get overwhelmed. And we had a conversation about, I can't do everything on my own. So
I mean, that's a blessing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had to learn to open my mouth so we could actually have a conversation, no matter that even though I don't like talking, we had to have that conversation. Otherwise, I was just going to stay pissed. I was just going to be mad. And then he's sitting up here wondering why I'm mad. And I never even opened up my mouth to say anything. So we sat down and I was like, look, I can't do this by myself. I don't like asking you to help me when you get home from work. And I don't want you to come home and have to clean when you get home from work after you've been out all day. But at the same time, I can't do this by myself. So we had to come to a happy medium, where he's cooking and trying to clean on the weekends. And I do as much as I can during the week. And I got the cleaners. I can go ahead and get my little cleaning lady to come back quarterly. So I don't have to put it out there. Go ahead. Had this old lady come over here, do a deep clean, and just try to keep it up from then on out. But that was just, I can't even say that happened around year 7. All of that was just a buildup of emotions over time. And then this just so happened to be where we ended up because of the place we're in now. So I have to go back to that communication level and then just fix it. So I'm like, that's why I really don't agree with the 7-year itch, because this is just a continuation of stuff. Like, you're going to have time, like you said, it's just been up and down. It's literally just up and down. You got to take it as it comes. That's why I can't get with him saying that he was in a bad spot in his marriage, to where he just thought it was okay to just step out. We get in bad spots every other month, but we stuck here. And I'm be looking at you in your face looking stupid. You're going to look at me and ask me what's wrong with me. And I'm going to tell you nothing. And I'm going to look at you and ask you what your problem is. And you're going to tell me nothing until we finally decide to talk. Then we're going to go get some food and we're going to be just fine.
Jordan, how long have you been together with
We've been together for 5 years now. The first 3 years that we were dating, we were long distance. So I was in New York. He was in North Carolina. And I mean, that part of it was hard, more so in the sense of like, I had been so used to like living by myself and going when I wanted to go. And I had like trips booked in advance. Like, you know, I didn't have nobody to answer to. I ain't had no kids. So it was like January, I was in St. Lucia. February, I was in St. Martin. March, I was at Coachella. April, I was like, I was just, you know, if me and my friends saw something and the trip was on sale, I was out. So the first year that we started dating, that was kind of a thing, because it was like, you got somewhere to go every month. And that was our thing. Like, oh, we're going to come. We at least going to see each other once a month. But he's like, you taking time off and you going on all these trips, like trying to find a balance of what life was prior to being in a relationship and, you know, figuring out with us being together. And then once I got pregnant and he moved to New York, you know, that was even more of a thing for us to figure out with him moving to New York, which was different. And then us just being different people and how we like live in a house. Mm-hmm. I'm not a clean up everyday girl. It's not my ministry. I don't enjoy it. So I'm gonna clean up when I clean up. I don't have to. I'm not the person that's like, oh my gosh, his dishes in the sink, I can't go to sleep. I will sleep and sleep fine. and wash those dishes tomorrow. And depending on how many dishes it is, I might not even wash them tomorrow. It might be the day after that when I feel like, all right, I'm actually about to cook and I can't cook because, you know, like I will have that mentality. Like I can't really cook if it's a whole bunch of like I can't cook with a whole bunch of dishes.
It gets dirty.
So we had to come to an agreement about that, about like him accepting the fact that I'm just naturally, I mean, he says junkie and I'll take it. Fine. You know, like I'm just not, that's not my ministry. But for us, we were able to find a balance in like, you know, things in the house after like overcoming those hurdles. Cause it's like, look, okay, I might not clean up the house all the time, but like I'm with the baby all day, right? So I'm cleaning up after her. It's not like you come home and there's diapers all over the house and plates and stuff. Like I'm not that type of junkie. It's just that I'm not like picking up every single sock all the time, or you know, like I'm not keeping stuff in its place. Like once a week or once every other week, I'm like, all right, let me straighten up real quick and make sure stuff is good. But we had a balance. Like for me, he knows that he's not gonna come home and it's not gonna be no food here.
Mm-hmm.
Every day when he comes home, whether I cook or whether it's, oh babe, we're ordering something, and majority of the time I'm cooking, like I know in the house that's my role. We're gonna have breakfast, we're gonna have lunch, we're gonna have dinner. Like I'm gonna cook, I'm gonna make your Tupperware for you to take to work with you, bring your Tupperware in the house so I can clean it out and make sure you know you're good for the next day. And for him, that's his thing. He enjoys cleaning the house, so you got it. Okay. You like it, I love it. And then just us like finding a balance and just like what our lives look like now together with the things that, you know, we want to do, or like his friends, my friends, me being in the sorority. Like it's just a whole bunch of things to try to balance, like calendars and schedules and work and all of that. I mean, we've gotten to a good place now, but like every day has not been sunshine and rainbows. But I mean, it's not a situation where it's like, all right, well, I'm out, or I'm about to go talk to somebody else, or I'm about to go be with somebody else because we having a rough day. Let me go cry on somebody else's shoulder. Like, no, we're having a rough day. We talk about it. If I need to be upstairs, you need to be downstairs. You go watch your shows. I'm gonna watch my shows, and I'm gonna holler at you in a couple of hours. Like, let's simmer down and have our own thoughts in our own places, and then we're gonna come back and figure it out.
You're gonna end up in this bed at the end of the night.
Yeah, at the end of the night, correct.
But like you said, it's about figuring it out, because that's what it is. Everything's gonna change. Like you said, baby adds a whole nother dynamic to things. Everything in life, like adds a new job. Where do people job at? How long they gonna go from home? Everything makes another, you know, something that you have to figure out, something that you have to work on. And I think that definitely was not explained.
And back to Derrick Jaxn, for him to be the guy on the internet that's like allegedly telling you all the stuff about how you should talk and be communicative in relationships, and like, well, so what was you doing?
Obviously, he was not. He wasn't sipping his own tea.
Right.
Okay. So majority of the time, nobody. I have a question. That's my next question. In either of y'all houses, I already know the answer to these, but anyway, nobody has any specific roles that they feel like it's just for you, and this is exactly just what I'm supposed to do, almost like gender roles.
I mean, I don't take out the trash in my house. I will if I need to, but our trash days are Tuesdays and Thursdays, and recycling is on Wednesdays. So I replace the trash bags when the trash is taken out, but that's one thing in house. I'm not going outside and cleaning the cars. And I mean, and I don't know if that's gender specific, but you could have he got the cars. You could take I ain't cutting no grass either. That's not my ministry as well. So that's that stuff he does. When it comes to stuff inside the house, like, I mean, I think you both can do stuff. It's not like, oh my gosh, he should not be doing laundry. That is a man, girl. You need to cook, wash his clothes, fold them, press them, like we could both get in here and do the stuff that we need to do in the house. And if I have to go outside and mow the lawn, sure, but no.
I think my husband just can't cook. It's not like he wouldn't do it. He's not good at it. So I just be like, just don't do it. You know, like just leave it alone. But it's not because he's a male, it's just because the food don't taste good. So I just be like, leave it, you know. But for the most part, like I am a in the yard kind of girl. Not to say I mow the lawn, but I'll like, you know, I'll weed eat it and blow it. Like I like the blower for some reason. I don't know. He got this new blower, and I'll be like out there like, woo. I literally did that about an hour ago. I was outside with the blower, blowing the lawn because I just like it. But no, there's nothing like specifically that, you know, I don't do because I'm a female. Outside of the trash, like you said, I never took out the trash. Like even as a kid, I had brothers, they took out the trash, or either my dad did it. So one or the other.
I used to say, like at the beginning, I even told my daddy that a long time ago, like the trash that was the one time I said something to my daddy like that. And he was like, good to know you have standards. So we was at home, like a long time, that's when we was living on Perilous Street and the trash needed to be taken out. My daddy said, this trash need to go out. I say, I don't do trash. You better call your son. And he said, good to know. I said, the one thing I ain't doing no trash. And I didn't do that. Plus I need to stop saying what I ain't gonna do. Every time I say I ain't doing something, I gotta end up doing it. But like with Tyrone traveling a lot, I have no choice but to take the trash out. Something like he'll try to do it before he leaves, but if he got to get up first thing Monday morning and the trash gets picked up on Tuesday, like our neighborhood complains about everything. So if somebody leaves their trash cans out a little too long, they get on there and get Twitter fingers or whatever, Facebook fingers or whatever you want to call it. So that the things are not sitting out, you know, for a whole day and a half, I'll just suck it up and be like, you know what, I'll get it out if I got to get it out, and I'll bring it in if I got to bring it in. But do I go out my way to take the trash? No, I'm not doing that. You can take it out on your way out the door. I barely even go outside. When you pass somebody at the curb, put that trash can there. But he does, even when it comes to cleaning up, he'll try to clean up, but I don't let him clean up like talking about it, because especially Monday through Friday, I don't let him clean up like talking about it, because like I said before, I feel that that's very wrong for him to come home from working all day and getting home at like 7:00 at night, and then you got to turn around and help me clean up. I just don't want you to do that. I want you to relax. And then another reason why I don't let him help cleaning up so much is because he doesn't really do a good job cleaning. Like I watched him clean the bathroom, and he cleaned the toilet, and the toilet was still dirty when he finished. Like I walked in there, and I lifted up the toilet seat, and there was still dirt under the toilet seat. And I was like, but you literally just finished cleaning this. And like I went, and while he moved on to Mason, he was trying to help me by cleaning. He moved on to Mason's bathroom, and I'm walking past Mason's bathroom, and I'm seeing him cleaning the toilet, and he just got the brush doing this, just standing there, just doing this with the brush. I'm like, what the fuck? What the freak? Like, what is he? He ain't gonna use no elbow grease. He just standing there, just swishing. He could have had his phone for all I care, just doing this. And I like, it took everything in me to just keep walking. Like I had to pretend like I was going to the utility room, and I just walked back. I was like, don't say that. Don't say that. But then I had to go back to, if you don't say nothing, it's not going to get corrected. So I had to sit after he finished. I was like, thank you so much for trying to help me, but you did not do a good job. The toilet is still dirty. After I clean the toilet, I'll use the brush, and then I'll go back with a glove and a magic eraser, and I'll clean. And then I get Lysol wipes, and I'll wipe. So there is nothing there, and I check behind myself. So he was like, I just cleaned that toilet. No, you didn't, because there was still dirt on the sink. And then even still with him trying to wash dishes, I finally broke down and told him he's not a good dishwasher. So he was like, what you mean? I say, baby, there have been multiple times I've come behind you. There's food still stuck on the dishes, and I have to wash things over. Like I literally thought one time that he must have used the dishwasher, just ran the dishwasher with no detergent in it, because the dishes were still dirty. And he was like, no, I didn't use the dishwasher. I hand washed it. I was like, well, crap. Now I got to wash everything all over again, because this still has food on it. So he didn't believe me. He thought I was being picky. So I went and I helped him wash dishes. I rinsed. So did y'all used to watch Golden Girls?
Mm-hmm.
There's an episode on there where Dorothy's washing dishes and she hands it to Sophia, and Sophia do this and just hand it back to her. They do that for like 3 minutes, and she's like, "We've been washing dishes for 10 minutes and we've only got 3 dishes done." So he was washing and I was rinsing, and I would get the dish. Before he even passed it to me, I saw the food. So I was like, okay, maybe it just come off once I rinse. I'm rinsing. It's still, I was just passing the dishes back. And he was like, what? And I just point to it. He was like, I ain't even see that. Of course you did. Like, that happened the entire time we was washing dishes. I was like, this is exactly why. If I don't say nothing, it's not going to get done. He's going to think I'm just fussing just for the heck of it. So it's better that I show him. And now he knows he's trash at washing dishes. So I'm going to just need you to pay more attention. Now, when it comes to like detail and stuff, I'm not even going to expect that, because that's a little too much. I'm not expecting him to dust, although he did a very good job dusting the loft. That's because he got tired of seeing baby powder everywhere, and I left it there on purpose. But cooking, he likes to cook. Does he have time to cook all the time? No. But he likes to cook, and he cooks on the weekend. Have at it. I like to eat. I don't care.
That's good though that he do that on the weekend. That's nice that he actually thinks about it, enough to do it.
Right. And like laundry, I'll try to do the laundry, but I don't like him doing laundry because, as he keeps saying, I'm very particular. I just like things the way they should go. When Tyrone washes clothes, he'll take them out the dryer and he won't fold them. He'll go dump them on the window seat in the loft, and then clothes will continue to pile. I don't always have time to fold clothes. So when I'm washing, I'm making sure that I have the time to fold that same day so that I can hurry up and get it done when I ain't got to come back and be like, oh God, 3 days later, I still got to fold clothes. I still got to get them clothes. But no, if I'm going to wash them, and hurry up and do it so that I can hurry up and fold it and get it done and get it out my face. Him, on the other hand, it still got clothes on the loft right now from when he washed 3 months ago.
I think that was the thing when we first moved here, because I had washed all of our clothes, and I was like washing clothes and like doing other stuff during the day. So as the clothes got dry, I was taking them out the dryer, I was putting them in a hamper, putting in another clothes out the dryer, putting them in a hamper. So we had all these clothes, and Tamario was a guy that like used to iron every morning before he went to work. Like, he's very particular about his clothes and how they fit and how they look. And I'm like, give me a t-shirt and some jeans. It's wrinkled, I'm gonna stretch it out. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're gonna be cool. If it's too wrinkled, let me just throw a jacket on top of it so you can barely see the wrinkles. So I remember I had washed the clothes, and he was like, yeah, you can't wash clothes no more. I said, well, why is that? And he's like, because like all of the clothes are wrinkled, like you didn't fold anything. And I said, all right. And then the next time I wash clothes, I said, I'm gonna wash clothes while he's home so that he could just go ahead and fold all of the clothes. Didn't happen. So we now both do the same thing. Like, by the time our clothes pile up, because instead of us being smart and just washing clothes once a week, like we wash clothes after it's like loads of clothes to be washed. And nobody want to sit and fold all of those clothes. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I haven't washed clothes in a very long time, because that's like yours. My husband was like, I don't like the way you do that. Like, he didn't like the way that I actually like, I don't like his food. He don't like me washing clothes. So I was like, cool, you can do that. I'm gonna let you have it, brother. I never made a complaint about him saying what he wanted. He don't try to show me nothing. He already knows. Sometimes I help him fold. Like, I could be watching a movie or something. He put the clothes right there. I ain't gonna just not fold, some shirts and he fold. But outside of that, I'd be like, go ahead, have it, brother. Go ahead and wash it. You need some Tide? I can come to the store.
Some detergent.
You need some fabric softener? I'll bring it back when we get back.
Last question. Did you guys have a question with your significant others about what is the breaking point for y'all? What would be the breaking point? What would make you say, I ain't doing this no more, I'm out?
I feel like we have, and I think both of us was like, if we were to like be with other people, because it would, for me to be like, oh, I got to be with somebody else. Like, what was it that I couldn't talk to you about, or that I couldn't come to you about as a person that I like love, live with, and trying to like build a life with, like what could have driven me to that point that it's like you needed to seek it outside of our relationship. Like I don't really have much of a level of tolerance for that. If it's other things like communication or like, some stuff you could talk through and get through. It might not be a day of talking. It might have to take some therapy, and it might take a couple months, or it might take a year or two. But stepping out is I'm done, man.
That's usually pretty high on everybody's list. Like when it comes to cheating.
Apparently not.
Huh?
Apparently not everybody's, but continue.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. But most people, that's a big thing. Because like you said, it's not like the movies. Like sex takes time. I always say that. I'd be like, you don't just slip and fall on somebody's whatever, right? You gotta take clothes off, layers gotta come out. It ain't that simple. So if you ain't think about it like for a minute, you know what I'm saying, to like pause and stop yourself, it's like, well, I didn't even cross your mind, you know what I'm saying? And then for me, like cheating wise, I mean, like I would have to be so emotionally gone, like, I mean, I'm just saying if I was the party that cheated, it would be like I'm not here anymore. Like if I'm really looking to like be physical with someone emotionally, I must have been out the door at least 6 months to a year ago. I must have been already gone. So, I mean, I think that I don't even know if I would look for, well, not to sound crazy maybe, but I probably wouldn't even look for forgiveness from him, because I would feel like if I went that far, then it must not be nothing left here. Something must be, something has really, exited that this just ain't
But
gonna
you
work.
get to the point where you're just like, you don't even care
Yeah.
about thinking about how he would feel about the situation. Like for me to get to this point, I would have to have been done with you anyway.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, like it must have really been going that far. So I wouldn't even want you to be like, oh, well, we can work through this. I mean, can we though? Like, like, could we, bro? Like we might probably couldn't.
I mean, it's
So
gonna be a spiritual warfare. Y'all gonna have to give
lying,
give everybody that in a blank slate. You're gonna be in there with your war hat and your combat clothes on, because you about to go to war, boo.
gotta go to war. The Lions, girl. The Lions.
We definitely had this conversation, and just because of the way what I saw growing up, like, yes, my daddy cheated on my mama. We have me, my sister, and my brother, we're all a year apart. I'm 31, 32, 33. We have a brother smack dab in between 31 and 32. There's a brother right there in between us, from somewhere else. And we found out about him off the street. Like, nobody, my daddy didn't tell us, my mama didn't tell us. The lady literally walked up to my brother and was like, "This your brother." I found out because I was at school and people kept telling me, "There's a boy named Tonka. You look just like him. Like, y'all got the same eyes. Like, y'all look just alike." Finally saw the boy. Damn, we do look just alike. Told my brother, they was like, "Yeah, that's our brother." I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay." Boys stay right off of, be around the same area. We always be same area. My daddy always hanging out at. So, like, I have older brothers. I have an older brother who my daddy had before, when he was younger. I have another older sister and another older brother or whatever. And my mom also has two other kids from before she got with my daddy. Let them tell it. She did dirt and he did dirt. I'm sorry. When I was younger, what was privy to me was the dirt my daddy did. I was like, how, if my mama did, huh? Was like, how, if my mama did any dirt, how? We were always with her unless she was at work. And even still, sometimes we had to go to work with her. So what I saw was my daddy always at the club, my daddy always out drinking. My daddy got a child in between. Of course, my dad, like, that's what I saw. So that was the conversation that I had with him. And another reason why I said I didn't want somebody like my daddy, like cheating, That's it for me. I'm done. I can't. I'm not about to do this. And then also, if we get to the point where we're arguing just that bad to where we're in here putting our hands on each other, I will gladly walk away and not think twice about it, because I refuse to let my kids see like I saw the things that I saw growing up. Like that was not a one-time thing that we saw. That happened multiple times. Like one time it happened and I was home by myself. I didn't even know what to do. Like I was just there. So it was just, that's the line for me. If I gotta be in here fighting you, we can walk away. If we gotta be in here cheating off both parts, if either of us, me, I don't even like people like that. So ain't no way in hell I'm about to be sitting up here trying to go. Like I always say, even if me and Tyrone don't work out, I'll be by myself. I barely want to deal with him. I'm not about to be trying to deal with nobody else. I don't have the energy. Too much.
What do you think about like people who have open marriages though? Like, I mean, like Will and Jada, obviously they don't want to call it that or whatever, right? But I mean, some people, you know, I guess they comfortable with it. Like they just feel like, oh, you my home base. You know, whatever happens out in the streets is just whatever happens. But at the end of the day, like he was like bad marriage for life, whatever, right? Like making it quote. But but I was just thinking, like, for real, like for some people, they don't care. Like I remember my aunt, she was 80 something. I love that lady. But anyway, she told me that she felt like, you know, as long as her husband came home, paid the bills, treated her with respect, she knew he was doing other stuff, but she didn't really care. Like, and then she was like, you know, heck, they gave me time to go do stuff I wanted to do. Like, she really gave two craps less. And I don't think she was like out stepping out with him or whatever, but she was like, she got married young. She got married at like 18 or 19 years old. So she was like, you know, I had my friends and I would go and do stuff with them and be at parties and this, that, and the third. You know, she wasn't really concerned with him, I guess, to some extent. So I don't know. I think sometimes people agree about different things. Like to them, a marriage is not just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, and if that works for you, like that's what I was telling people, because people were like, well, they really don't have a real marriage if they do it. I'm like, well, I mean, if that worked for you, if it worked for you to be okay with your husband doing whatever and you do whatever, I mean, that's your rules.
For some people, that does work for them to be with like other partners or have other relationships. I just don't have the mental or emotional capacity to like, you know, to be present. I just couldn't see myself being like present in multiple relationships. Like if I was to be in another relationship, it would just be like, oh, maybe I don't really know much about you, but we having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like to be as, I couldn't see myself being as invested as I am into Mario with some like, and also be that invested with somebody else.
See, but I don't think they get invested. I think they just be.
I feel like they gotta have they gotta draw the line somewhere. Like if you're gonna have an open marriage, like you need to have boundaries set to where it doesn't get to the point where other people's feelings are going to get hurt and your feelings are going to get hurt.
Right.
Like apparently, like the example you brought up, Will and Jada. Apparently, August got in his feelings and got his feelings hurt while she just sitting over there. Oh well, you knew what it was from the beginning. That's what it seemed like on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that because he shouldn't have got all of it. But
yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I just feel like there needs to be boundaries set. Now, me, it ain't for me. It got too many diseases and stuff running around here for me to be jumping back and forth between peas. I can't do that. I don't know. First of all, I don't know where you've been. I don't know where you've been. I done been with this dude over here since 2004. I don't know where you'd have been. That ain't for me. And I honestly don't want to find out, because I feel like even if I were to ask you, you still gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't trust you. Point blank, period. So if you're people, that's them. If they're gonna have open marriages, do you, boo-boo, please do you. But at the same time, please have boundaries so that you're not the next thing I'm sitting over here eating my popcorn too and kikiing about in a text group with my girls.
Mm-hmm. That's a word.
That's true.
We are gonna talk about you.
for a good 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other questions?
I think we hit all the points today.
Yep, and in good time. So once I feel like this is a good episode too. So once again, thank you for, if you're gonna watch this video, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Any other things that could have been brought up or said, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Otherwise, next time we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.